Okay, so I'm going to actually record the same exact video that I just produced in a live video setting, primarily because I noticed they got cut off in a couple of different ways. It seems like I was having some network issues with Facebook Live today. So I'm going to basically go over it again one more time. This time at least it'll be in one shot, not in like all kinds of little pieces. And I'll post it up onto the 3 pages where I posted the video before for anybody that wants to watch it in its entirety. So here we go. Today's video was my live video, episode 9, Timeout Tuesday. The title was Exercise versus Practice. Today's topic is something we talked about a lot during classes. We talk about it all the time. It's something that kids and adults often think they're doing correctly, but not getting the results that they hope for. And at the end of this video, I'm going to give you a couple of tips that I use for practicing that seem to work well for me. Practicing can definitely be boring, it can be draining, but there's really no other way to get good at something that requires skill. You can't buy it, you can't add water to it, you can't sprinkle some foo-foo dust on it and hope that it kind of magically appears and works for you. This whole topic of practicing to get better at something always reminds me of a crazy story that my father told me. It was when he was back in college, he applied for a summer job at a photo retouching studio. This was way before Photoshop. All the work was done by hand. It was very, with airbrushes, very meticulous and time-consuming work. And to train their new staff to see if they had the control and the patience to handle the task, the company had them sit at a desk with a notebook and a pencil and draw parallel lines across the page horizontally over and over, a ½ inch apart for, ready for this, the entire summer for 8 weeks. And if you were able to actually do that, sounds nuts, right? If you were able to do that, and my father did, you were then able to get trained in how to do retouching of photographs. Trust me when I tell you, he was able to draw straight lines for the rest of his life. The practice, as painful as it was, yielded the intended results because the goal was to get good at doing something very meticulous. So to differentiate between exercise and practice, at least the way I look at it, exercise is physical movement, primarily for the purpose of becoming stronger, more flexible, or increasing endurance. But it can also be a mental exercise for the purpose of keeping yourself sharp and focused. Practice, on the other hand, is repeating tasks with a focus on detail and technique for the purpose of improving proficiency. There are certainly cases where the two concepts overlap. For example, I think it would be great if everyone did 20 push-ups every single day. But if they can't really do one good one, then doing 20 bad ones is not really worth the time, since the exercise won't really yield the results because the mechanics are not in place to strengthen the muscles that are being targeted. So first practice getting into the correct position, learning the correct body position, the hand positions, then work towards getting one solid push-up working properly. Then once the technique is there, you can flip it over and convert it to exercise. Very often I hear that students are spending a ton of time practicing their katas at home, but yet the parents don't understand why they don't seem to be getting better at them. But when I dig into what they're actually doing, the description is often something like they practice all of their techniques 3 or 5 times over a 5 to 10 minute period. So what you have is a lot of stuff being practiced very quickly in a very short amount of time. That sounds more like exercise to me. They're moving, they're maybe even getting stronger, but they're not concentrating on improving the techniques. Many times, kids are directed to practice by their parents. It's true with karate, musical instruments, certainly school-related things like multiplication tables or spelling or whatever else they're practicing in school these days. And if they're not guided to use strategies for making the best use of this time, they're likely to put on a good show for the required amount of time so that they could move on to the thing that they really want to be doing. So it's up to us to guide them with some strategies. Here's a few tips that I use for practicing stuff. Number 1, break things down into small pieces. Don't practice everything you need to know every day unless you have gobs of time, which nobody has. For example, if you're practicing kata, choose one or a part of one. Practice it methodically, concentrating on each movement, asking yourself along the way if your hands, if your feet, if your body are all in the correct positions. Very often when I practice karate or guitar, I choose very small sequences, practice them over and over and over again until I can do them without thinking before I move on to the next piece. Then later on, I glue them all together and form a kata or a song. Excuse me. Channel your instructors. Number 2, channel your instructors or your teachers. Imagine that they're watching you. What would they say about what you're doing? What would their criticism be? Number 3, compare yourself to somebody that you think is better than you. Use video. YouTube has a video for everything you could possibly want to learn. There's got to be someone better than you. Find that person. If you're trying to learn some martial arts, you can use Millennium's community, the member community Facebook page. Use the videos and strive to emulate the person that you want to be like. Number 4, be your own instructor. Film yourself, watch yourself, be highly critical. Then do it again, film it, see if you got better. You'll be amazed at how much you can critique yourself, even if your body is not cooperating yet. We see this all the time at the karate school when we break the kids up into groups and we have them critique one another. They can definitely tell the other kids what they're doing wrong, even if they're not yet capable of doing it, even if they're not able to kind of, match what they're thinking to their body yet. Number 5, check in with an instructor or your teacher after you've practiced doing some quality time practice. Get some validation that what you're doing is working. If you're able to kind of prove to yourself that the practice is yielding results, it's going to inspire you to practice more. But if you're not sure if it's really doing what you need it to do, why continue practicing? You don't know if it's really worth your time. So I think it's a great idea. Number 6, this is something I end almost all my videos with. Be patient. Get a little bit better every single day. You're not getting perfect today. Be easy on yourself. Just work and get a little bit better. That's today's video, folks. I'm going to be heading over to the karate school momentarily. We have a busy day today. We have over 95 kids registered for our Dojo Olympic event that's coming up this Saturday from 3 to 5 o'clock over at Sport Time. We rented a facility. This is a free event that we do. Like many free events that we do at the karate school, we rented an outside facility because we just wanted to make sure that we can accommodate the number of kids and have an awesome event. We're looking forward to it. It's a lot of fun, games, snacks, prizes, medals for the winners. So I'll see you at the dojo. Have a great day. Make it a great day. Peace.